Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. Well, Sean Connery was out, but thankfully they managed to get Roger Moore in this time. But was he good enough in the role to ensure that the franchise still carried on? But fuck it, let's not waste any more time, slutty ladies and not so gentlemen. This is Live and Let Die.
Say live and let die.
Released in 1973, Live and Let Die sees Bond, this time played by the late Roger Moore, head to funky 1970s Harlem to track down a funky major heroin dealer named Mr. Big, played by the late Yaphet Kotto, in order to find out who's killing off other agents investigating him. But what is his connection to Caribbean Prime Minister Dr. Kananga? And can Bond persuade sexy psychic extraordinaire Solitaire, played by the gorgeous Jane Seymour, to help him?
Call me Kitty.
Live and Let Die is fun. Just fun. It's batshit, insane, it's weird, it's unashamedly weird, and yeah, I know I complained about Diamonds Are Forever being weird, so why do I defend this? Well, guess I never thought about it, but reviewing these back to back now, I guess because Diamonds Are Forever was coming off a setup for a potential revenge plot that was tossed aside for a goofy caper, while this was a goofy caper coming off a goofy caper, and I always saw the franchise loosely rebooting itself whenever a new actor took the role, even before the term reboot was coined. It could also be that the villains are more interesting and still came across more threatening in comparison to the mysterious Blofeld being reduced to this. But anyway, what is it I liked and didn't like about this movie? Well, I like how it shamelessly cashes in on the blaxploitation craze of the time and yet somehow still manages to be badass. And I like seeing Bond out of his element, a white classy British spy in an area full of angry black criminals armed with afros, large collars, platform shoes, jive-ass one-liners,
Ames is for tombstones, baby.
guns, and worse, a real hatred for any honky motherfucker. But just like with Goldfinger, Guy Hamilton directs the movie with a knowing sense of humour that suits Roger Moore's tongue-in-cheek approach. Roger Moore showed there was life after Sean Connery, and while he lacked Sean's tough ruthlessness, he still had bags of charm and affability where even when he's a bit of a dick, he still somehow manages to be very likeable. He always looks like he's got a handle on the situation, even when he doesn't. He never shows that he's losing control, using witty one-liners as a way to mask his true emotions.
Perhaps we could try something in an even simpler vein.
Even if the one-liner was lame, Moore's delivery would somehow make it funny.
Quite revealing.
Not only that, Roger Moore always seemed grateful to have played the role in his tenure. Unlike some, David Headland might be my favourite Felix Leiter. He has a smoothness, a charm, and I like how he's more like a diplomat trying to smooth things over whenever Bond gets into a scrape.
Holy shit.
And Mrs. Bell, you gotta love Mrs. Bell.
Same time tomorrow, Mrs. Bell?
The music score by George Martin is funky as fuck. No other way to describe it, it's funky. For example, there's even a scene where Bond has to take control of a car after his driver is killed and is trying to avoid a collision. Not only was the music intense to make me worry for Bond's safety, but it made me wanna strut that funky stuff. And while we're on the subject, the title theme by Paul McCartney fucking rocks. It may lack the brassy class of the Shirley Bassey stuff, but I can't deny Macca goes all in, and it's one of my favourite Bond themes. The other characters are very memorable, especially the villains. Kananga, Teehee, Baron Samedi, this is a film that is not afraid to go nuts. The film starts off unapologetically bonkers with jazz funerals, hiding recently murdered agents, snake-wielding madmen. The action is ridiculous with some fun chases, one with a double-decker bus. And a cool boat chase across the swamps while an inept sheriff named G.W. Pepper has to deal with the chaos. And this also makes me laugh. Human misery. I love it. And when it comes to Bond having to use his wits when his gadgets fail, Bond surrounded by Crocs and Gators is one of my favourites. mostly because of this. And this was done for real. The stuntman almost lost his foot and had to do the stunt again.
Jesus.
Jane Seymour, while not the most complex Bond girl, is still likeable. She starts off mysterious but later shows an innocence and vulnerability that does make her endearing. And fuck me, don't know what she's been drinking, but for a woman in her 70s, she's killing it.
I want to break your head.
Yaphet Kotto takes the Bond villain duties, switching between the bad-tempered Mr. Big to the calm, collected, menacing Kananga. And I like how he slowly progresses, going from composed and creepy to this smiling nutcase as his relationship with Solitaire deteriorates. But he's at his best when he's calm, proving there's something unsettling about a psychopath threatening you in a calm manner, as you never know when he's going to lash out. The dude even disposed of Solitaire's mum after she became useless and replaced her with Solitaire with the intent of taking her virginity when the time was right. What a scumbag.
I like him already.
I even like his plan.
2 tons of heroin with a street value well over $1 billion. Nationally distributed free. Well, that should make a certain group of families rather angry, wouldn't you say?
They'll positively drive them out of their minds and subsequently out of the business. Well, merely until the number of addicts in the country has doubled, shall we say. Then I will begin to market that acreage that you blundered into the other day.
Even though it does mean going to war with your competition, which probably does cause more problems, but hey, I still love it. Julian Harris is hilariously creepy as Tee-hee, and while on paper he's a generic henchman, he is very memorable. And I don't know why he's always stood there smiling, and I don't care, he cracks me up. Even his backstory feels very true to Fleming's writing style.
There's old Albert. He's a crock. Got over careless with him some time back, and he took my whole arm off.
Well done, Albert.
Jeffrey Holder is not giving a fuck as the, immortal Baron Samedi. His character doesn't do much, but like Tee-hee, he just cracks me up. There's even a running joke with Bond at the Filet or Soul Club, where he's paranoid over where he sits in order to avoid getting captured.
What's wrong with the booth? I once had a nasty turn in a booth.
And despite his caution, he ends up getting captured anyway. Oh, and to get this out the way, I don't have any complaints about Bond tricking Solitaire. He's a spy. Being a spy requires doing really shitty things. That's who Bond is. That's who Ian Fleming created.
Spying is a dirty trade, and we all know it. Khrushchev has said so.
Innocent people are at risk, and this is a business where sometimes you have to do shitty things in order to catch the villains. Not only that, the cars were already hinting at them being lovers, even before Moore tricked her. First, when Solitaire asks Bond to pick one.
Us?
And second, when Bond wasn't even in the fucking room. Bond even shows some remorse over what he did after he realises the danger he's put her in.
Small confession to make now. Try not to be too upset. The deck was slightly stacked in my favor.
Not only that, he does go out of his way to keep her safe. Even after he knows about Kananga's plan, he doesn't leave her behind. And even though I prefer this over Diamonds Are Forever, Solitaire is a little less interesting than Tiffany Case. I mean, Connery and St. John had mad chemistry and some witty dialogue to bounce off of, while Moore and Seymour seem like they were together because it's a Bond film. I'm also mixed on J.W. Pepper. He is funny, I guess, but I bet if you cut him out, it wouldn't really change the movie. But Clifton James is obviously having fun, and he wasn't as annoying here as he was in The Man with the Golden Gun. The Mr. Big makeup on Kananga is laughable, and Moore does lack the hard edge of the other Bond actors. Yes, even Lazenby. Moore's entrance as Bond is just there. He's never given a cool introduction. When you look at the other actors making their first appearance, we are given a cool build-up before they are revealed. Even fucking Lazenby was given some build-up before his reveal. Gloria Hendry, while stunning, is really annoying as Rose Carver, and no offense to this actress, I just don't think they knew how to write this character, but despite its problems, it's fun, witty, funny, tongue-in-cheek, that lives and lets you sit back and enjoy. And that was Live and Let Die. Next up, The Man with the Golden Gun.